My name is Neo.
And my name is Lebo.
And today we have a special guest. I think she'd like to introduce herself and she'd like to explain, Guti, what is our relationship?
Okay. So hi everyone. My name is Xoliswa. I am a mentee. yeah. I got mentorship from Lebu and Nuneo.
Okay. I mean, we just hit 1,000 subscribers, and we'd like to really show appreciation. So we always ask ourselves, how can we actually add value to the people out there that are actually viewing? How can we inspire people out there to actually push towards their property journey?
So now, what better way than bringing our youngest mentee into the show and actually let her explain that how has her property journey been and what does she actually look forward to within the property industry?
So Cody, I think that if you can just give us a brief background about who you are and what you're all about. I'm sure we're quite interested. Just tell us.
Okay, so Xoliswa is a 19-year-old. Wasengotu originally, so I'm from AKZN. I used to stay here when I was younger, then I went and then I came back now. So yeah, and then I'm doing my first year at the University of Johannesburg. I am basically that, and I'm a property fanatic. So yeah.
I remember Cody, the first time we actually had a conversation. It was through a friend of mine. He called me like, no, you know what? So there's somebody who's interested about property investing, and then when he told me your age, I was like, hey, are you for real, or is this person for real? Because last thing that we want to do is wasted our time. So I didn't want to waste my time. I don't want to lie. I was like upfront and I was like, are you serious about this? And it was quite interesting. We have a voice note. But I'm not going to expose you now. The time will come where we will expose you. So it was quite interesting of how you came. Do you want to actually share a story? Like, how did we come to meet, like our first conversation?
Okay, so our first conversation, I talked to your friend, ne? And then I was like, okay, and that was it was another story on how I met him. But I told him, okay, I want to learn about property. I know I love property, but it's like when you're going to grade 10, but you don't know what's done there. So I wanted like the knowledge of everything. And he was like, okay, I know of two friends of mine. They are very, very serious. So if I'm going to get you in touch with them, you are going to have to promise me that you'll put 150% into the whole process. You won't be someone who will start and then somewhere in between they've put all of this effort into actually helping you and then you just back out. And I was like, no, I'll not do that. And I was 18 at the time. So he gave me Neo's numbers, and then I started thinking, okay, how am I going to go about this? Like, how am I going to really introduce myself in a way that would, I don't know, have them understand me as a person, you know, and what I want from them. So the first voice note that I made to you guys was like, yeah, it was like, hey guys, my name is Xoliswa. So I read a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that spoke of financial stability, the rat race, the system, and like all of investments and all of that stuff. And I just started there and was like, okay, I want to learn, because I felt like it was also, I don't know, a message that I was getting from God. Because at that point, I was going through a point in my life where I was like, okay, what's supposed to happen? I'm in varsity, I'm doing my first year. The course that I'm doing, I do like it, but it's not really, yeah, you know those people that are like, I want to be a doctor. Yeah, that's all I want to do. I just want to be a doctor. For me, it wasn't it wasn't that certain kind of a thing, you know? So after reading that, I then had direction in terms of where was I going to go forward, and that was the voice notes that I made to you guys. Yeah.
So now throughout your property journey, I think we've been together in communication for the past 3 or 4 months, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And what I want for the viewers to actually get value from this video. So now I want to ask you, firstly, before we actually go into property, is property easy? Is it as easy as going to one site, getting one person, getting another, and selling off the deal?
Wait. Before you actually even ask that, can I just put a magnifying scope on this question? Like your property perspective before this whole process and your property perspective right now. I think that will actually, we can compare and contrast and then see the differences between the two.
Yeah. So I have two sides to that answer.
Okay.
There is the good side and then there's the bad side. So when I started with the whole idea of property, it was not, I didn't think it was just easy, in a such, it's just easy. But I also didn't think there was that much work that actually goes into investing in property. There's so much. There is so, you guys refer to it as, what is it? The back office. Yes, there's so much of that. You would think, oh, good to know, it's just me going to buy a house and then that's everything. So with learning with you guys, I realized, okay, it's so much more. It's definitely not easy. You definitely need to have some form of guidance in the process. And then the good side, though, I had this mentality, property investing needs a lot of money, and through meeting you guys and what we were learning about, I realized time is important, knowledge is important in property. What you know is the money that you make.
Okay. So now, what is the biggest lesson that you have learned within our whole meeting and being together and the relationship that we have done between us and you?
Okay, so I have to put this as the biggest thing that I've actually learned. So as I said, starting into a property, it was like that whole thing. But it's not easy. It's totally undoable. And then with you guys, I think the biggest thing is you availed it to my mentality, to my head, to my reality. It's doable. And that was the biggest thing for me, because there's so much, like, there's so many things that you're told, it's angeke, you can't do it, So meeting you guys, knowing what you guys do, seeing you guys do all of that with me, it was like, oh, kanti, yenzeka. So yeah. Yeah.
I like, before you actually go in, Daniel, I like how you actually say it is doable, and yet it needs a whole lot of work to go into it. Because now what happens most of the time is that people just say property is this easy thing. You just get one house, you get a buyer, then you actually sell that property, right? But now it is until you actually go into property. I mean, there's a lot of people that have connections, right? They have connections. So now a back-to-back would be simple, right? A wholesale deal would be easy. But now for someone who's actually starting with property, for someone who doesn't actually know anything about property and being told that you just get a house below market and you actually sell it off as soon as possible.
I like the way you're speaking and the language that you're speaking, even the tonality that you're using. You can clearly hear that we talk about the science, we talk about the process of property investing. Rather, instead of becoming a millionaire, rather talk about becoming a millionaire tomorrow. We talk about all these aspects that are going to result you to actually mastering this process that we speak about. So, Goli, I'm so happy and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I mean, even when we went to go view recently and then the person didn't come through, how you handle the situation, like the maturity that you have within you and how you actually speak to, because I also spoke to one of the estate agents, one of them that you called, and it was quite interesting that we didn't need to run after you. You were not like relaxed, you know what, the guys will tell me, oh, I'll just wait on them. It was more of a relationship whereby you were there and we were always there. So we fed off each other's energy, and you played a big role in Long Wealth. I don't want to lie. Like the energy that you've shared with us, it's quite amazing. I'm becoming emotional, and I'm not the emotional type. You
Who's the emotional professional one, we know.
So I don't want to lie, like I'm quite impressed about where you are right now.
And we actually take the people through the process of how you actually got to where you are right now.
Phew. Okay, so how I got to where I am. So after the period where you guys drilled a whole lot of reality and a whole lot of practicality in terms of what real estate and property investing and everything actually is. So after that intense process, I had this thing about, okay, I know, yeah, manje, I think, I do have an idea of property in a sense. So something's supposed to happen. It wasn't a thing of me just saying, okay, now I'm good, now I can just chill. I knew what's okay with everything that you guys had taught me. It was so much, I had to apply it somewhere. So we were actually calling for a client, Wealth, that wanted a property that was listed in Pasonia. And then I made that call to the agent that actually had that listing. And that agent actually happened to be the owner of the company that I work for at the moment. So when I called him, I was like, okay, I saw this property, it's listed under you. How much is it? Can we negotiate the price down? In terms of targeted ROI, where we're looking, is it good investment, like wise and stuff like that? And he was like, okay, yeah, no, it's good, everything. And then he was like, okay, let me share pictures of it through WhatsApp. And then we went to WhatsApp. And then from there, I posted a picture of myself on my status. And he was like, okay, who's this? Because I wrote, I love myself. And he's like, okay, who's this? I'm like, that's me. He's like, so you're the girl that actually called me. I'm like, yeah, this is me. He was like, you look so young. Like the way that you approached me in terms of the call that you made, like asking me about gross income and all of that stuff. It was, and I was like, oh no, yeah, I'm a little knowledgeable in that in that field. And then I just sent him like a whole paragraph. I didn't know there were vacancies, but I just asking him to, I don't know, help me in a sense in terms of expanding in knowledge in already what I know. And he was like, I would love to have you come and work for us as a real estate agent, because you know real estate. You real estate in just buying a house as a person, it's an investment.
Yes.
So once you understand the investment part and not just looking at a house and being like, that's a nice house, real estate, because all the appreciation and the that goes with the whole thing. So that's what he liked about what you guys had taught me, because I knew nothing. And then he called me for an interview. I went there. We started talking. He was like, okay, you're confident. You know what you're talking about. You're 19. Okay, I was still 18 at the time. But you have an idea. You have a full idea of what everything actually is. And that's how I started working as a real estate agent.
Just to interrupt, remember what was your birthday surprise for us? You promised.
Yes. So the day I got the job was my birthday. I turned 19 on the day I started working. And I was like, guys, no, I can't tell you. I'm going to tell you what's going on. And I prolonged the process until it was my birthday. And I was like, yay, I got a job.
So if we can go into what Nell was actually asking, that right now, what are you doing and how can you help our viewers right now?
So at the moment, I'm an intern real estate agent.
Okay.
So I work with a principal real estate agent that actually is helping me throughout the learning process of being a real estate agent and as such. So I have listings of properties that are actually being on the market in the moment, and then actually anyone who needs to sell their property or anyone who needs to buy a property can just contact me, and I'll help them throughout the process.
Okay. And then in terms of location, so that let's say we're getting somebody from KZN who's watching this, or somebody from Cape Town who's watching this, or Johannesburg. So do you specifically focus on a particular location, or you?
Well, at the moment, I would have to say I'm a bit restricted to Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
Because, yeah, you know, transport to go do evaluations and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, Johannesburg mostly.
Okay, no, that's awesome. I think what we can do, we can just pop in your details in the description, so that if anybody wants to actually send you an email with regards to having an inquiry, they can hook up with you in that regard.
And
Yeah.
I'd really like to say that it's really amazing what you can do when you do have the information with you, right? I mean, I think you're the youngest person at where you are working right now, and it's really amazing. What kind of information do you have when a property investor actually calls and asks you that, do you really have deals right now? You are able to tell them that if you do have deals, or if you don't have deals. I mean, a lot of times it happens that I'm sure we felt this together, right? When you call an estate agent and you ask them, do you have deals? And then they give you a deal that's below market with 10,000. And it's not really a deal. It's not really a deal.
Yeah.
But now I think right now, with the skill that you actually have, property investors will be actually calling you.
You know.
So I'm that real estate agent in the company. You know, there's the rental guy, there's the commercial property guy, and then there's like, okay, you want an investment property? Okay, I'll just send you through to someone, and they know that person who's all investment, who's all investment property, this and investment property that, it's yeah. It's that advantage over people that were already there, but they know you are more equipped in that aspect.
God, you know, just hearing you speak about this, Joy, it makes my heart melt. Like the hours that we've spent on WhatsApp call, on WhatsApp videos, on Zoom, preparing, it's hours. And like, you know, the thing is with us, especially the youth, we think about getting rich quick. However, now it's more of, we always talking about it being a process, and seeing you from where you started to where you are right now, to how you conduct yourself. I don't want to go emotional again, but I don't want to lie though. It's really amazing. And I'm quite interested in terms of, where do you see yourself in terms of your property journey? Okay, I don't want to spill the beans. Let me just leave it there. Where do you see yourself in terms of your property journey?
You are what?
Like I was gonna spill the beans, and then I was gonna say, like, we're gonna own like townhouses, maybe 30 units or 300. Let me not be too small. 300 units. It's gonna be the three of us. So that's why I was like, let me not spill the beans. Let me.
Okay. So where I see myself, so at the moment, it's all about learning. You know, it's all about getting into really understanding the whole process. Rental management, tenants, everything, you know. And then what I want to do, like the biggest thing for me is, especially with Black people, which is why property has been the thing for me. We are so, I don't know, we're so distanced from what is ours, in a sense, you know. I'm not up for take back the land or whatever, but we are so, like, thinking property, thinking investment, thinking millions to us is so foreign, and it shouldn't be. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I want to do is, I want to open up that I don't know, area or aspect in our people's minds, to say, you can do it. It's doable. You don't have to have R1 million to actually start investing in property. Time is everything. Knowledge is everything. Do you get what I'm saying? So the goal is to open a company, hopefully with you guys, you know, that will that'll be an investment. an investment-based property company. You get what I'm saying? So where we have people that specifically want to invest in property, and they come to us. Obviously, we have more knowledge in terms of like getting those properties, having them sourced, understanding if the numbers really make sense, looking beyond what you see, everything in that regard. So it's having that company where people can just invest, and then we are then able to help them make money, like just make money, and just yeah. I mean, it's just all about that, availing that channel of financial stability to Black people in particular, but just people, yeah.
And I'm sure you know us. You shall be getting a call from us, and don't be shocked.
And I mean, now it's really out there. So now you also have our community holding you accountable. So if 10 years from now someone asks that, what are you doing, man? You know that they'll be watching this video. I'm really happy that we were able to have you on our show, and I really wish you and know that you are going to achieve whatever you have really set your mind to, because we have actually worked with you and seen the passion and the fire in your eyes. I mean, right now it's a bit dark in your eyes, so now people can't really see the passion, but now I think they can actually experience all the energy that you have. It's exceptional, man.
And I mean, Xoli's energy, it's like the two of us. If you think that we have energy, it's like the two of us put together, and then you get her. So, that's like where she is. So, Xoli, as we always speaking, you know what? This YouTube channel for us, it's not just a channel. It's something that we feel that we can actually use this as a platform whereby we can inspire. We can inspire people out there, and we can actually impact lives. That's the main purpose for us. And I really hope that you do achieve what you are, because what you're currently achieving right now, we're of the mindset that you're going to share with others just as we are. And actually, it's a relay. Let me just summarize it and say, this is a relay that we're running.
No, Xoli, thank you for actually being on the show. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do the right thing and subscribe to this channel. We on 1,000. We on 1,000 subscribers, and it's a huge milestone, man. It's a huge milestone.
Oh, before we even cut, Xoli, I'll never forget that you were our 100th, 100. You actually made us subscribe. You actually made us hit 100 subscribers. That's why you'll always be special to us, man. Thanks. Thank
you guys so much.
Where can people find you on the socials?
So on Instagram, it's Xoli Shabalala.
No.
On Facebook, it's also Xoli Shabalala.
Okay.
So yeah.
No, well, signing out.